Y'all, Africa is all things, luxury included. And I'm gonna share with you 5 reasons why, if you're looking to move to Africa, you should move to South Africa. Welcome to the channel. My name is Ashley, and on my channel, I talk about my experience of moving, living, and doing business on the continent of Africa. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Y'all know how I feel about you in the comments, the subscriptions, it's everything. Y'all mean the world to me. Thank you for us getting to 5,000 subscribers and growing. We're actively growing, and I'm so happy that this content is resonating with so many. I get your messages. I try to reply to as many as I can. You know, when I started sharing my journey, it was really only to share and add value, because there were people that I was watching that were giving me information, and I just felt like if I can help one person, I'll do that. And I get so many of your messages, and I really appreciate your support, and I love that you're finding value in the content. So let's get into it. If you're looking to move to the continent, or just move anywhere outside of the US, and you're looking for luxury, I'm here to tell you South Africa has it. And specifically here in Johannesburg, South Africa, which is known as the heartbeat of South Africa and also the financial hub of Africa, there is luxury to be found. Okay, I am staying in a beautiful penthouse, 1-bedroom apartment, hotel, and it's lovely. My breakfast is included. I'm talking about lovely breakfast, okay? There is a pristine gym, a beautiful rooftop overlooking the entire Johannesburg skyline, CBD, Rosebank, Sandton, you can see it all. A rooftop pool, and affordable, y'all. I'll leave you the link below. It's the Hyatt House in Rosebank, and I also stayed at the one in Sandton. Super cute, super cute. So luxury is here. The infrastructure is world class. So you've got the highways, you've got the byways, the streets are beautiful, okay? If you're coming from any major metro in the US, well, all them potholes and iron boards and just a hot ass mess, no, you're not gonna find that here. Now, maybe in certain parts, right? But I'm speaking specifically about Johannesburg, and the infrastructure here is pristine and constantly developing. They are developing. Some of the most beautiful world-class buildings I've ever seen anywhere are going up here in Johannesburg, South Africa. So the infrastructure is here. Are there some challenges around power and water? Yes, I hear that. I haven't experienced it with load shedding yet, but that's what they say. But I'm here to tell you, I haven't had any problems since I've been here. So the infrastructure is here. And from what I hear in the US, there's some power outages going on. But fiber internet, so super high fiber internet speeds are here in Johannesburg. The infrastructure is next level. So if that's what you're looking for, it's here in South Africa, okay? The access to luxuries. So I've spoken about this a little bit in my videos where I love the country of Tanzania. There is a place in my heart for this country forever, and I will continuously be there on a regular because it calls me back. The nature, the beauty, the luscious abundance of fruits and vegetables, the national parks, the history, the culture of Tanzanians. It's unmatched, and we're not comparing the two, but what I am saying is that there is a level of luxury here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Some of the most beautiful real estate. I'm talking about jaw-dropping real estate. Luxury spas. I'll be having a full luxury spa day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow for less than $200 US. I'm talking about way less than $200 USD. I went to a fantastic, beautiful, luxurious place for cocktails with friends last night. High rise, rooftop pool, everything. Okay, white tablecloth, 5-star restaurants with live music. It's here. So yes, I can step out in my YSL pump and in my fancy Louis Vuitton or even my local, like my African designer, my high-end luxury African designers with the most pristine silks and cottons. Yes, it's here. The luxury is here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Okay, so if you also have an interest in an access to global business, it is being done here. So I mentioned that earlier in the video. Johannesburg is known as the financial hub to the continent. And I'm actually overlooking the skyline of Sandton CBD, which used to be not Sandton, Johannesburg CBD, which used to be the hub of like the gold mining and all of that, which has since then pretty much relocated to Sandton, also known as the richest square mile in Africa. I'm talking luxury, y'all. Okay, so Lamborghinis, Porsche, all that is here. Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Armand, what is it? Audemars Piguet, like the stores here. That's normal. Like that's average for the South Africans. So global business is being done here at an extremely high level. Johannesburg has its own stock exchange. The rand, the South African rand, is globally exchanged. Call it what you like, but their currency is a part of the global economy, and the business is getting done here. So if you want access to global business, you can get it done here in Johannesburg, South Africa. And one of the things you're also going to get access to by being here in Johannesburg is culture. So I mentioned that, the average South African speaks 6 languages. People are speaking their native languages here. I love it. You can get South African food at, breakfast. You still feel connected to the African culture. African spirituality is openly practiced. So there isn't just this huge collision of westernization. There is also an opportunity to immerse yourself in the South African culture. Now, many South Africans feel that this is diluting and it is challenging for their children to really connect. And I don't disagree with that at all. I also recognize that many have their families and their lineage in outside provinces, in the rural villages, where they may go once a month, every other weekend, or for big events and parties where the African practices are still happening, even if it's not specifically in the heart of Johannesburg. You still have access to the beauty of the African landscape, the South African landscape, and the South African cultures, religion, practices, and like ways of life. And you can have that here in South Africa as well. So you don't necessarily have to go to a place that maybe is overwhelmingly doing that. But if you want all of these other things and you still want African culture, you can have that in South Africa. Okay? And another reason why you should move to South Africa is if you love history. If you have a love for African history, they have done a great job of preserving their history through museums, through art galleries, even through novelists. Now, again, I'm hearing that there are some challenges where they're trying to erase the history of South Africa. And this is what I've heard through news articles, and I try to be sparing with what I hear versus what I share. And I know it's not perfect, but from what I've seen and the experience that I've had, I've been able to get access to history, the South African history that I never was exposed to outside of or in the US. And I can go to a bookstore here and learn about different activists around, the Black conscious movement, apartheid and pre-apartheid and post-apartheid exile, and the reformation of the Black conscious community that is even still active and live today. And it isn't this hush-hush thing. You don't, see it being totally dismissed in the schools. They're talking about it in the schools. They're openly referencing and celebrating some of the hardest moments in history to ensure that they're not repeated. Is it perfect? Where is there perfect? Where is it perfect, right? It's not perfect, but it sure feels good to know that there is progress and it is happening in a way that is tangible and accessible if it's something that you're looking for. So if you found value and you have an interest in moving to South Africa, be sure to like this video, share it with someone else that you may, think would find value or, feels a way about what they've heard or what they've been told about South Africa, because you can't listen to everything that you've heard. And I would even encourage you to do your research beyond even what I'm sharing, right? Because I'm still learning too. But if you have an interest and you're wondering where to start to prepare your move or even your discovery trip, I'd love to connect you with some of my personal relationships, give you insight into what I've done to successfully prepare and plan my move to South Africa. The link below will give you access to my calendar where you can book a call with me, and I'll give you everything and share everything that I know. I'd love to do it, and I'd be honored to support you in your journey. Until the next video, I'll see you soon.